Hello everyone, it's Ginger's Greetings here on YouTube and on Instagram, and today I'm going to be rambling about visual novels. Let's get into it. I've always loved art and storytelling ever since I was a little kid. It's what spurred me to write single-page stories in notebooks and doodle anime characters in crayon on printer paper. It's also what drew me to cartoons, video games, and of course, visual novels. I guess maybe it's weird to distinguish visual novels from video games, but if someone says they're into gaming, your first response isn't gonna be, oh, I like Doki Doki Literature Club too. Visual novels also feel like a much more accessible kind of game, both to play and to develop. Unless the developer has really gone ham and added minigames, or there are lots and lots and lots of branches you have to go down, visual novels usually don't require much skill to actually play. You can also generally play them one-handed, which, as somebody who was basically doing everything one-handed up until recently, that's fantastic. In terms of development, while there are visual novels that get made with very large teams, there are some that are made by single people, sometimes with little to no programming experience at all. And like any artsy person who likes visual novels, I've also thought to myself, could I be one of those people? And while me and a couple friends did successfully make our own, very short video game, visual novel projects I have, on my own, have rarely come to fruition, and by rarely I mean not at all, because one way or another, life gets in the way. So, I pulled out my tablet and dreamed of what kind of visual novel I would make. Of course, the premise was stupid, but I think I might roll with it anyway. To give a very brief, safe-for-work-ish summary, the story surrounds our main character, a 20-something-year-old lesbian, who's lamenting the 1-year anniversary of getting cursed to never see the titties again. She's giving herself one last day to try every outlandish method she can think of to break her curse. And again, I never said this was a deeper, inspiring story. Instead of starting with the character herself, I decided to start on the environments first, mainly because I was already just on a kick of drawing rooms and stuff. I was trying to think of the overall aesthetic I wanted, what colors I would use, and the variety in the palette, etc. But with no clear direction in mind, and my affinity for all things cute and pink, I set off to making a room fit for a princess. Her bedroom isn't actually too complicated. It's got 2 windows, a bed, a nightstand, and a TV with a dresser underneath it. The dresser's filled with game consoles, and her nightstand not only showcases a journal, but one of those weekly medicine containers as well. The chandelier brings home the whole kind of princessy aesthetic, and as an afterthought, I added a long mirror propped against the wall. Pink and hearts go hand in hand in my brain. It's just how that works. And so they ended up becoming a reoccurring theme throughout the room. I like hearts, okay? That's okay, I'm allowed to like them. And while I initially thought about going completely monochromatic with the pink, just shades of pink, I ended up adding both gold and lavender to the mix. The color palette is still very simple, but I think this way it adds a little bit more interest to the environment. As I designed her room, more thoughts about her actual character came to me. A room fit for a princess needs a princess, or at least someone who acts like one. I don't have a name for her yet, but I'm imagining the girl who lives here is one of those people who doesn't understand just how much money their parents have. They bought her a house, and she doesn't know how much of a privilege that actually is. She also doesn't have to work yet, so she spends most of her days playing 18+ dating sims and watching that kind of anime. Or at least, that's what she did before the whole curse thing. Afterwards, she thinks she finally gets what it means to go through hard times. It's not like she intentionally is rude to people, but just kind of listening to her ignorance is irritating at best. And that's what I have so far. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble about visual novels I may or may not get around to actually making. If you want to see it come to fruition, feel free to give me some support by liking, commenting, or following me to see what I say about it next. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!